Today, and I want to show you probably my all-time online hero is Russell Brunson. I want to show you a video from him. So, and he talks about how to succeed when you have no resources. I think everybody starts off that way. When you have you've nothing, you've not got a lot of money, and you've really nothing that you can buy and things like that as well. And this is what Russell's talking about. He does a marketing show, and he kind of records it on video. And it's brilliant. And he's got a podcast as well. Absolutely amazing. Love it. Listen to every show, probably at least 2 or 3 times. So I want to show you a quick 10-minute video of Russell and what he's doing. Now, when you watch the beginning of the video, he kind of goes on a wee bit about stuff, but you'll kind of quickly understand why he's kind of going on about it. And then what we'll do, we'll just kind of talk after it. So I'll show you the video first. We've got Paul Zella's out in the house as well. Welcome, Paul. It's good to see you here. Big fan of Paul and his kind of network he's got on as well. I'm really glad you could make it, buddy. We've also got Lorraine McClelland from Glasgow, which is unusual. We don't get a lot of Scottish people here, so welcome to you, a big welcome to you, because you're from Glasgow, and I'm just outside Glasgow in Motherwell. Estelle Munoz has just joined us as well, so welcome everybody. So I'm going to show you this video from Russell Brunson, and he's talking about how to succeed when you have no resources, and I'm going to talk about it afterwards, and we'll kind of discuss it. If you've got any questions, just put a big Q and with your questions, and we'll kind of talk about it afterwards as well. But it's only 10 minutes, so it's not going to cut into our time that much. But you know I love Russell, and he's just amazing. And this is a good lesson for you as well. So play that video just now.
Hey everyone, it's Russell, and welcome you to the Marketing Secrets Podcast happening today from Pirates Cove.
So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us, who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world, and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets.
Alright everyone, so if you watch the video of this, you can kind of see I am at the most ridiculous place on earth. If you're listening to this, go to marketingsecrets.com to actually watch the video. But right now I'm at a place called Pirates Cove. We're at this mastermind group that is insane. If you see behind me, these are my kids swinging on the ropes and having fun in the water and a bunch of other amazing things. And this is pretty much the craziest place I've ever been. It's my favorite place on earth. Some of the backstory behind Pirates Cove. Again, those of you who are watching, you're seeing some of the scenery of this place. Basically, the kind of backstory is when my twins, which this is Bone, one of my twins right here. What's up? So when they were about 6 months old, I was speaking at an event here in Las Vegas, which is where Pirates Cove is at, and one of my friends had come to this place and kind of told stories about how amazing it was. And he tried to explain it, and like no matter how cool he made it sound, like you're like, oh, that sounds cool. He's like, no, you guys, we have to see it. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna take you and we're gonna try to find it. So we started driving around all over Las Vegas, all over Boulder City, trying to find this place called Pirates Cove, and we couldn't find it anywhere. So we kind of gave up and went out to eat in Boulder City, and we're sitting there. All of a sudden, the owner of Pirates Cove walked out, and my buddy's like, that's the owner. And so we walked up to him and was like, hey, you don't know us, but I was been to Pirates Cove, and it would be super cool to if you could let us see it. And the guy was so cool. He was like, well, come on up, and he gave us swimming suits, and we swam the entire day. And like I said, Bowen here was only 6 months old, so he was in diapers, and we had the most amazing time ever. And if you see this place, it's on the side of this mountain. It's a private residence. There's 5 houses on it. There's water slides. In fact, I'll take you guys up who are watching the video so you can see kind of the top. There's a kid water slide and this really cool kid pool, and then up at the top there is this huge water slide that's like for adults. That it's crazy, and you go down this huge slide, and then it enters into the middle of the park. There's this huge boat and a pirate mast. You can actually jump off it. In fact, Funnel Hacker TV, you'll see some videos of me jumping off it. It's pretty crazy. So anyway, so I'll keep showing you as I'm walking around. But I want to teach you guys a really cool lesson. So after we came, I was like, I want to rent this. Like I want to come take my family here and show everybody. So the next year we called the guy up and we're like, well, we want to rent Pirates Cove. How much does that cost? And he was like, oh, it's like $10,000 a day with like a week-long minimum. So like $70,000 or $80,000. I was like, what? I don't have that kind of money at the time. And but I was like, God, but I really want to rent Pirates Cove. And I was like, there's got to be a way that I can rent this and like show my family and my kids and like experience this again. And so then, you know, the wheels in my head start spinning. Like how? And again, this comes down to like Robert Kiyosaki 101, right? Poor people say, oh, I can't afford that. And rich people think, how can I afford that? How can I afford it? Like, what do I got to do to be able to afford that? So I'm like thinking, like, well, what do I got to do to make $70,000 to rent this place? Plus, obviously, catering and everything else. I'm like, well, for me to do that, it's going to cost a lot of money. Like, I'm going to need almost $100,000 to do it. And so I was like, okay, well, what if I found a bunch of cool people and invited them to come to this thing, and I sold tickets to it? And so that was the idea. So what we did is basically went and I put out a little page and I said, 10 people pay $10,000, and that's $100,000. It covers the cost of the entire mastermind group, and then we can rent it, and we'll have a really good time. And I was like, we'll have it for half the week. We'll have mastermind, and then when the mastermind's over, we'll still have it for 2 or 3 days at the end, and we'll invite my family members at a time, a bunch of employees, things like that. And that was kind of the game plan. So we did it, and it worked, and it was amazing. So that was the first time I had a chance to experience Pirates Cove for a whole week. And since then we've done it. I think this is the 4th time we've done it. We did 3 years in a row, and it took off like 4 or 5 years, just because it's a lot of work as well. And then this year we decided to do it again. So I'm here right now with 10 entrepreneurs, and we're just having the most amazing mastermind meetings during the day when it's like 116 degrees out here, and then at night we're playing, we're having fun. Our kids are here. It's like it's insanely cool. And so that's what's happening right now at Pirates Cove. So again, if you want to see some of the visuals in this place, go to marketingsecrets.com and watch the video. But the lesson I want to tell you guys is this. And hopefully you kind of got a little piece of the lesson, but it comes back to what Robert Kiyosaki said, right? Like, poor people say, oh, I can't afford that, whereas rich people are thinking, how can I afford that? How can I afford that? Right? And so I couldn't afford this place. I couldn't afford to rent it, but I wanted to experience, I wanted other people to experience. So I had to start thinking outside the box, like, how can I do that? What do I need to do to be able to afford that? And how do I get other people to help chip in, and so we can actually experience this and make this such an amazing thing. In fact, a lot of my early joint venture partnerships came with people I invited to Pirates Cove. And I tell you what, you take someone to Pirates Cove, they think you're pretty cool afterwards, which has helped as I've tried to build relationships and grow companies and things like that. But for you, what I want to think about is a lot of times as an entrepreneur, and I'm not telling you should go rent Pirates Cove and do something crazy like that, but a lot of times the reason why entrepreneurs aren't successful in business is because they have this weird resource problem. Like, oh, Russell, I don't have the resources, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the talents. Like, it's all like, I don't have the resources. And you have to understand that entrepreneurship is not about having resources. Like, that's a fallacy. It's incorrect, right? Entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs not because they have resources, because they're resourceful. It sounds very similar, but it's different. They're resourceful. So I was resourceful. I had to think outside the box, like, how can I create this thing? Okay, you guys, a bunch of you guys have heard my rant many times about venture capitalists, right? Like, I don't feel real entrepreneurs should take VC, because like, they're coming in saying basically, oh, I don't have the resources, let me go ask somebody to give me money so now I'll have resources to go and build something. And by definition, if you're doing that, you're not an entrepreneur. Like, entrepreneurs are resourceful. They look at things and say, how can I afford that? They look at something and say, okay, I don't have the resources, I have to be resourceful, I got to figure out other ways to do it. I mean, my very first thing I ever created, I had Mark Joyner, who's my first mentor, and man, one of the coolest people I've ever met. Oh, here's my Ellie. She's here hanging out too. Want to say hi?
Hi.
You having fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm almost done, babe. Okay, so anyway, so he when he kind of retired from the internet marketing coaching business, he put out a thing called the farewell package, and he sold it, and I bought it. And at the time, like, I had no resources. I paid $1,000 for this course, and that was like all the money we had, and my credit card was maxed out afterwards, and I had no resources. And I was like, okay, everything I bought from Mark Joyner, like, I needed to hire programmers and developers to be able to execute and actually create that thing, but I didn't have the resources. And I'm like, crap, what am I going to do? I don't have the resources to create it. But I was like, I'm an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are resourceful. And so I'm like, okay, I got to be resourceful. What should I do? And I was like, okay, well, I have ideas. I know if I did have money, what I would do. So I was like, okay, this is what I would create if I did have money. And then I wrote it out, and then I went. And at the time, he had this little Facebook, or it wasn't Facebook, it was a little forum with everyone who had purchased his product. I said, look, guys, I bought this thing with the last of my money. I'm completely broke, but I know what I would do if I had the money. I would create this thing. And I like pitched everyone on this thing, and they're like, I was like, the deal is I'm broke though. I have no resources, but I'm very resourceful. And I know a lot of you guys are in the same situation. So my question for you is, how many of you guys like to partner up together and we pool our resources and become resourceful and work together? And I posted that and I said, I got a quote, it's going to cost about $5,000 to build this idea I had. I got $0, so I need 50 of you guys to give me $100, and we can create something from our resources to become resourceful. And I had like 120, 130 people who's like, I'll do it, I'm in. All people saying, I'll donate $100 to this thing to be part of it. And I was like, cool. So I collected all my, I had 120 people say they would, and then as often happens, only I think 55 or something actually gave the $100. So that's $5,500 that I suddenly had in my PayPal account. And everyone bought together this package, and I went and I took the money, and I went and I hired the development team, and they started creating it, and that's how I launched my first viral website. A lot of you guys don't know that story. I don't tell it very often, but it was about not the resource. I had zero resources. All I had was a credit card with a $1,000 bill on it, because that's what I paid to buy his course, and $0. At the time I had a job. I didn't have a job. I was wrestling, so I was making exactly $0 a month, $0 a year. And my wife was making $9.50 an hour, so that was our resources. And now I had $1,000 on my credit card. I was stressing out because I'm like, I don't know how to pay $1,000. And so, luckily, I was resourceful, and I found people, got the funding from other people who wanted to be part of this project. We launched it, started building a list, used that to launch the next first product, and on and on and on. And here we are 15 years later. I'm at Pirates Cove with 10 of the most amazing entrepreneurs on the world. And I'm here with my family and my friends. A bunch of my employees, my partners are coming, and I didn't pay a penny to be here. And it's because I was resourceful. So for you, I want you guys to understand, that's why we're entrepreneurs. We are resourceful. You are resourceful. All you gotta do is stop trying to ask people for money to fund your idea and just start creating, being resourceful. What can I do? How can I get other people involved and get other people to believe in my vision? Like when you start learning how to sell, people will come to you, and you can create cool things. So there is my message for tonight. For those of you guys who've been watching the visuals behind me, hopefully you had a cool little glimpse of Pirates Cove. We got a couple Funnel Hacker TV episodes coming out that'll be showing you guys some of the craziness, but hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully you start thinking about that in your business, in your life. And it's not just business, it's all aspects of life, right? How do you be resourceful? You rarely will have the resources you need to get started. And if you're resourceful, you can do it. So that's what I got. I'm out of here, guys. I'm gonna go get my swimsuit on. I'm gonna jump in the water. So bye, everybody.
Would you like to see behind the scenes of what we're actually doing?
Everybody, welcome back. I know Russell tends to kind of go on a bit, but there's method in his madness. He always kind of sets up the story beforehand, and he's always got brilliant stories to tell as well. So I know a lot of you were kind of thinking, just get on with it, but there's always a point to what he does. There's never kind of Russell kind of just rambling on. He's always got a point. There's always something he's doing with everything he's telling. So I just thought that was a really good kind of example of what to do when you don't think you have the resources, and you become resourceful. And that's what I've kind of learned over the years as well. You have to become resourceful in order to kind of make money, and in order to help more people in the world as well. And it's something that's kind of happening just now with our business, with kind of my business just now. So I'm thinking I've spent all this time kind of working on YDF, kind of doing all that stuff as well. And then for the last 2-3 months, just going to be really honest here with you, for the last 2-3 months, we've not really sold YDF program because we've been revamping it. So thinking, shit, we need to get the money in. How do we get the money in? Because we've now revamped it. It looks fantastic. We've got it just how we like it as well. And we brought out kind of Messenger Masterclass as well. I'm thinking, how do we get kind of the main money in to grow the business even more and to start traveling and doing kind of seminars and stuff like that as well? And so we were kind of thinking about it, thought, well, what worked in the past? I kind of had to ask myself, what worked in the past? What's going to be the easiest kind of way to make money from YDF and get more coaches in and see the benefit of how it's going to help more people in the world? And the biggest thing was webinars. So I was thinking, okay, if we done one webinar per week, so myself and Maria Flynn discussed this, if we done one webinar per week, we could probably get maybe $5,000, $10,000 in a week. And if you kind of put that over a year, that's like $500,000 a year. And that's the quickest and easiest way to make money with a program that you've got. If it's a big program, and we're selling it from between $497 and $997. So that's not going to take a lot of resources. All it's going to take is time, our time, because we're going to have to show up at the webinar. We're kind of doing the sales pages just now and kind of doing everything else in the background at the moment. So all it is taken is time. Obviously, we've spent the time in the past to revamp the program and make the program as good as possible. But that's the easiest way to bring in money for our business. Just do one webinar per week, a live webinar every single week, potentially $5,000 to $10,000 per week for the business. And that way we can grow the business, make more programs, hire more people, and kind of possibly do kind of a big coaching package as well, which is something I'm not keen on. I don't like one-to-one coaching. But the seminars as well, I get to travel the world because we're going to YDF Arizona and we're selling the tickets there for YDF Arizona as well. So I get to travel the world. I get to teach people. We've got a meeting up with some amazing people in YDF Arizona as well. Maria Flynn and Lauren Jono is going to be teaching there as well. A one-day event, plus I get to go to the growth event as well. So my thinking was, when I thought, okay, we could travel the world, I could do this and do kind of one-day seminars. And I thought, well, how am I going to travel? How am I going to be able to do that? How am I going to travel the world? Or the original plan was to go to the growth event, because that's a personal development kind of thing. And I thought, okay, how do I get to go to there? I don't want to spend money just going over to the growth event. I thought, okay, we'll hold a seminar in Arizona at the same time as the growth event or a couple of days before it. That way my trip is paid for. I get to teach people a whole bunch of kind of stuff, along with kind of Maria and Lauren Jono as well. Plus I get to meet all these people in person, plus I get to go to the growth event. So that's my kind of wee story just recently about how I get to go to the growth event for free, basically. Because it is a personal development event, it wouldn't be allowed to go in a kind of business as a business trip. So that's what I did. I held a seminar over in YDF Arizona. Plus, we've teamed up with Growth as well, and anybody that goes to the YDF Arizona event will get it for $97 instead of $297. So you've got to be thinking or asking a question, how can you do something? How can you make this better? How can you get a product out there? How can you make money? How can you help more people? Instead of saying, oh, I can't do that, I've not got the time, I can't do that, I've not got the technical knowledge, I can't do that, because it's just kind of making excuses. I get a lot of people asking me kind of simple questions. Like, how do you do this in this program? I'm not talking about the YDF tribe members, I'm just talking about kind of ordinary people coming onto my page and saying, how do you do this? And it's really simple stuff. Simple for me, I could do in a couple of minutes, it might take somebody else a couple of hours. But the answers are in Google. I don't understand why people don't go to Google and just type in the question, how do I do this in this program, for example? People are not resourceful. And even having a tool like Google, they're still not using that resource to become resourceful for themselves as well. And that's why I thought that video was really good. Because you've got all the answers there. You're just not asking the right questions. And I think that's the thing. That's exactly what I was doing as well. For the first 5-6 years, I was kind of asking the right questions, because I always managed to get through and I always kind of pushed myself through it. And it was because of that I was just saying, how do I do this? And I kept on asking the question, how do you do it? When you ask questions like that, forward-thinking questions, your subconscious mind starts to find the answers for you, because it's going to start looking out for the solutions for you. And if you say to yourself, I can't do this because, your brain shuts down, or your subconscious mind kind of shuts down to that question, and it won't look for the solutions. So if you ask the right questions, you're going to come up with better solutions for you as well. I'm just going to read out a couple of comments, see if you've got any questions on that as well. Maria Flynn, woot, I can't wait for Arizona. It's going to be brilliant, and we're getting geared up for that as well. We're just getting everything set up. So what we're doing just now, myself and Maria, just now we're getting all the kind of YDF pages together. We've got Messenger Masterclass, brilliant Facebook Live system. We've also got the Viral Niche system and the main YDF program. So we're getting ready to launch for the kind of webinars that are going to be coming up soon as well. And that's what we're working on in the background. And we'll be doing kind of YDF Arizona. We're going to do a big push on that as well. But there's only 40 tickets for that, so it's not going to be a huge push. But yeah, we're working on that just now, really excited. Jumping up out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, that's great. Cheryl Fletcher Greening, wow, 1 webinar per week, excellent, sounds excellent. Yeah, it's going to be good, because we've now got a target audience. We've kind of figured out who our target audience is, and that's one of the big things. And the past webinars we've done, we've kind of built the YDF program is for everybody who wants to build a Facebook page. But we kind of soon realised the people that we're attracting is really coaches. Coaches under the umbrella of coaches, a healer, a speaker, a writer, an author, an entrepreneur. They're kind of coaching something, they're helping people in some way. So we're targeting kind of coaches. So we've found the right audience after probably 2 years. It's taken us 2 years to just say, okay, this is the right audience, this is who we're looking to target. So yeah, we're going to do 1 per week. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be starting in a couple of weeks' time with that. So it's going to be good, Cheryl. Just see if there's any more comments. And Cheryl saying thanks for sharing the video. Stephen was brilliant. It is good. And as I said, Russell, you think he's rambling on, but there's always a point to what he's talking about. Rosie is saying most creative people are exactly like him. Rambling Rosie here. I think that's true, actually. And Doricetta is saying great video, Steve. It is, I think it was. All his programs are good. I'm going to link to his iTunes, his podcasts and stuff like that as well, because he's amazing. And if you didn't see the interview done with Russell as well, you need to go check that out as well. Check out the interview done with kind of Russell live. It was a brilliant interview. Maria Flynn, being resourceful gets you thinking. Win-win, excellent. It does get you thinking. It gets your subconscious mind thinking, because what happens when you ask yourself a question, the answers don't come straight away. So what your subconscious mind does is just say, okay, give me that question, let it marinate in the subconscious mind, and I'll start to kind of come up with answers for you. So that's when the answers come in the shower. That's when the answers come when you see a book that you wouldn't have normally noticed, because your subconscious mind is working all the time. I know that sounds hard to believe, but it's true. I've experienced this throughout the kind of 20 years kind of that I've been learning all this stuff. Your subconscious mind automatically helps you find things. That's why the law of attraction works as well, because your subconscious mind is it's not attracting people to you, but it's making you notice things that you wouldn't have noticed before. And also your energy is attracting people to you as well, but your subconscious mind is working for you because it's making you notice things that you would have missed before. And that's all to do with asking the right questions. So yeah, it does get you thinking, Maria. Any other questions or comments? Maria, Google has saved me. Everything is figure outable. Yes, it is. Google, I've learned everything. Everything that I've learned about website building, WordPress, about marketing, every single thing has been learned from doing searches on Google. And that's how I taught myself to do kind of everything. I'm kind of self-taught. Everything I've learned from Google. Right, 1 second. I'm just running through the comments here. DNA Bead, wow, awesome, Steve. That's encouraging. 2 years to find your audience. It's a tricky thing to know what your audience fans want and enjoy from you. That's where I am on my page. Yeah, you need to figure out who your audience is. We kind of figured out it was for everybody. Everybody that wants to grow a Facebook page. So that worked to a degree. We kind of made $250,000 from it, and it worked. So obviously it worked, but we had to niche it down, narrow it down to find the real core audience. And it's only when we got members into the program that we found out most of them are coaches in some way. And the ones that are making money, most of them are coaches in some way. They've got a program, they've got a service, they've got a product out as well. And it's most of the coaches that are making money from the program. And the people that aren't making money is probably because they've not got a product, or they've not got a service that they're offering. So obviously we encourage people to make a product or offer a service of some kind as well to help them make money. But yeah, your audience is really key, important here. So I'm saying it took 2 years. It took 2 years to niche it down, is what I was really trying to say, because the program really is for everybody who's trying to build up a Facebook page, but it's for so much more than that as well now. Cheryl Fletcher Greening, the interview you did with Russell was brilliant. I do totally love Russell. I just think he's a marketing genius. He's just amazing. So Phoenix, so true about the subconscious mind. It works for us, but we have to feed it the right information. If you feed it crap all the time, it's going to spew out crap as well, in your mind, obviously as well. But if you're asking the right questions and thinking about the right things, that's when you're going to start to notice things. And that's when you're going to get attracted to things, and people, your energy is going to change. And this applies to business totally as well. We never speak about the kind of spiritual side of business. Never really talk about that. I've done it a couple of times, but it's so true in business as it is in your personal life as well. Shelley Sweeney, I really enjoy you as a sensei, teacher, leader, so I appreciate your knowledge and stuff. I think Google or other resources are boring, and you have a wonderful way about your style, honestly, and integrity. Keep going strong, thank you. Oh, thank you, Shelley. I really appreciate that. That's the thing as well. You learn everything from Google. Everything that you want to learn, you can learn it from Google, and then you put your personality into it once you're going to teach other people what you kind of learned in the past as well. So everything I've learned over the past 10 years in kind of marketing and building products and kind of how to speak to people, how to kind of build networks and stuff like that, I've originally learned from books and from Google and from other people as well, and I've packaged it all into my own kind of little kind of learning, and the way I kind of teach it is hopefully different enough that people are going to kind of buy into the programs, or they're going to just listen to the free live shows or whatever, and they're going to see that whatever I'm teaching is with integrity, is with honesty as well, hopefully, because it is. That's the way it's meant to be anyway. Kathy Baker, it's funny how Google name noun has worked its way into language as a doing word verb. Yeah, I'm going to Google that. Have you Googled that? Yes, it is. And it's just, there's another word I came across a couple of weeks ago as well, Kathy, I can't remember what it is. It's similar to Google, that's kind of worked its way into the kind of vernacular of the day. I can't remember what it is, but it's similar to that as well, and it's a program online. Jen Atkinson, 78 days to add. It's only 78 days. Wow. Not that I'm counting down or anything. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to get started. We're going to do the sales page for it. We're going to start that probably next week because we're working on all the other sales pages, revamping them. So yeah, that's going to be good. Marty is saying, thank you, Stephen. I was stuck for weeks, but listening to this live show taught me what I needed. Be resourceful if you do not have the resources. Thank you so much. I'm in the right direction. Brilliant. Excellent. Yeah, love that, that you're kind of thinking about things, and you're thinking about things in a different way now as well. And hopefully that's going to get you on the right path as well, Marty. And DNA Bidwa, thanks, Stephen. I'm so grateful to reading my comments and replying. YDF is brilliant. Thank you very much, DNA. And I really appreciate you coming to the show. Kind of most days, I really appreciate that. It's brilliant that you're coming to the shows and you're learning, and you're taking that learning and applying it in your own business as well, DNA. So thank you for that. Maria Flynn, when you're resourceful, you're connected to what you really want and your why. Otherwise, you're only connected to excuses keeping you from your dream. Just my 2 cents. Hashtag. Yes. And I think a lot of us can be like that. We kind of make excuses for why we're not the place where we want to be. And we kind of make excuses instead of trying to be resourceful and trying to find ways to make it happen. I think that's it for just now. I think I've been on for about half an hour. So I'm going to leave it there just now. Hopefully it's given you something to think about. And I'll put some links up to Russell's kind of shows as well, because I just love him. He's a marketing genius. And I'll put links up to YDF Arizona as well for you. I'll do that if you want to join myself, Maria Flynn, Lauren Jono, and a few of the YDF tribe members as well. Jen Atkinson is coming to YDF Arizona. So if you want to meet all of us reprobates, then you can meet us over at YDF Arizona. It's going to be amazing. It's only $197, so if you stay in and around that area, it'd be brilliant to kind of meet up with you. But we'll get the sales page up and everything. We've got kind of sales page up just now, but I just want to make it better. So that's it for just now. Howard Manstein, thank you, Steve. My pleasure, Howard. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow, same time. Have a brilliant day, whatever you're doing, and namaste. Take care. Bye now.